Nancy and welcome to my kitchen. This is our first installation of a countdown to Christmas where we're going to be cooking up some of your all-time favorite Southern desserts. So today we're going to put together an old-fashioned bread pudding, and I'm going to show you. It's so simple. Actually, the thing that takes the longest is cutting up your French bread. So this is a whole loaf of French bread. It's 2 or 3 days old, so it was pretty stiff, and that's how you want it for bread pudding. And I've just cubed it, and we'll get back to the bread in a minute. So here's what you're going to need. For your liquids, you're going to need 2 cups of just regular whole milk. You can use 4 if you want, but I like to do a little bit of evaporated, so we're going to do a can, which is a cup and a half, 12 ounces. And then I've got heavy whipping cream just to make it richer, so we'll do a half a cup of that. So those are your liquids. You can put that all together. We've got 4 eggs, which I've already cracked, and we'll put that in the liquid. And y'all, we're almost done. It's crazy. So let me just whisk that around a little bit and break up those yolks. You'll need 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. All right. Stir that around, and then we're going to add 2 more things. We've got 2 cups of granulated sugar. So I'll put that in this milk mixture. And I know you're wondering, what's that butter for? I'm going to show you in just a minute. And then here's your optional ingredient, rum. You can use dark rum. I just happen to have white rum, but you don't have to use it at all. It's just going to give it a little bit more decadent flavor. So I'm putting in a cup. So those are the basic ingredients for a bread pudding. Some people add raisins. If you're going to do that, you can actually plump them up in your rum. Just let them soak. Or you can add pecans, or you can just do a plain one like this. That's what we prefer here. So our next step, we've got this mixture all mixed up, is I'm going to melt this butter on a big skillet, on the stovetop, and I'm just going to brown the bread a little bit. So I'll see you at the stove. Alright, I melted that half a stick of butter, and I had so much bread I added a little bit more, and I'm just kind of tossing the cubes of bread around. You really don't have to brown this at all. You just want all that butter to be absorbed into the bread. So really fast process, just a minute or 2 on the stovetop. And now I'm going to transfer this over into a buttered casserole dish. Okay, y'all, we're almost finished. I've got the cubed bread in my buttered casserole dish, and I'm getting ready to add the milk mixture. So you really just pour over. And after I do this, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350. And while it's preheating, it's a perfect time to let this just sit. I'll stir it a few times, but we'll let it sit for 10 minutes, soaking up all of that beautiful liquid. Then we're going to put it in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. Just depends on your oven, but you just have to keep an eye on it, and you can do the toothpick test and just make sure it comes out clean. And you just don't want it to be overly brown on top. And so we will see you in about an hour. Let's put together a traditional rum sauce. So the first thing that you're going to do is melt your butter, And then we're going to add in 2 cups of heavy cream. So we'll stir that around. And then you're going to need your sugar and cornstarch combination. So that's a 1/2 cup of sugar and 3 teaspoons of cornstarch. So we're going to add that to the 2 cups of heavy cream. And you had 3 tablespoons of butter. So we'll mix that together and bring it to a quick boil. And meanwhile, I'm going to show you our finished bread pudding fresh out of the oven. So take a look at this. Yummy. Perfect. That's exactly how you want it to look. And it's still warm. So once this sauce is done, we'll be able to put that over it. So you can see we're just bringing it to a boil. And you're going to let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. You want it to thicken up just a little bit. Okay, your sauce has been simmering now for about 15 minutes, and I'm going to take the fire off, and we're going to add a tablespoon of rum and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Just whisk this around or stir it around so it's mixed, and then you can put it right over your bread pudding. I like to put mine in a jar and just use it as needed. All right, are you ready to serve up something so decadent at your next holiday gathering? Well, we've got it here. It's our bread pudding, and I have 2 options for toppings. So the first one is just a simple glaze. All this is 1/2 stick of butter and a cup of confectionate sugar. Just make sure your butter is melted but cool before you mix it up. And this one does really well if the bread pudding is warm. So you may have to pop it in the microwave and then spread this on. The next one is a traditional rum sauce. And you saw earlier how I put it together on the stove top. We were having a few sound issues, so I'm going to make sure and put the instructions down below so you can follow that. But this is the traditional rum sauce, which is excellent. So let us know what you think of this recipe. Let us know when you try it. That's what I really want you to do, is to cook with me. This is really my biggest hobby, is cooking things. And so I'm so happy to have you here with us counting down to the holidays. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be counting down more with some excellent, delicious desserts.